Welcome back to the Green Beans Go channel. It's your host, me, and I'm an idiot. I'm a flat out moron. I recorded a banger video, this video, 20 minutes long, just chef's kiss. I mean, it was analytical. It was humorous. It was all the things you look for in a YouTube video, and my microphone was unplugged. 19 people watched it, didn't comment, just listened to silence, I presume, until one person got on there and said, hey, where's the audio? So we're going to do it again. We're going to run it back, and we're going to hope we can recreate what we did this afternoon, which was make a masterpiece. So let's get after it. This is our mid-season quarterback rankings video. I know technically we are past the halfway point of the NFL season. We just finished up week 10, or we will in about 20 minutes when the Rams and Miami Dolphins kick off. So let's talk about our tiers. At the top, we have the Sell My Soul category. This is if I was a general manager of an NFL team, these are the guys I would sell my soul to get on my team. Next, we have the very great category, followed by the great category. Then in the middle, we have doing his job, followed by would be good in Kansas City. What do I mean by that? I mean, these are quarterbacks who may just find themselves in bad situations, but I truly think have a lot of talent. Then we have bad, and then we have the skull emoji. So without further ado, let's just put Aiden O'Connell in the skull emoji, shall we? He has, of course, not had a good year. And partly he's not to blame. He didn't get to start the year. You know, Minshew started the year, and then his number one target, Davante Adams, decides to go across town or the nation to the New York Jets. So we can't really blame him, but nonetheless, he is no longer with us. And speaking of no longer with us, Anthony Richardson. I'm not sure how I feel about what the Colts are doing with their what looked to be franchise quarterback. There's a lot of opinions about if Flacco should be the guy, if Anthony Richardson should be the guy. Are we looking about, this season, the playoffs now, or are our eyes set on the future and what the Colts could be in the year 2028? I don't think anybody knows, and I don't think Shane Steichen is doing a good job with this team. I'll say it. So we'll put him in the dead category, and we'll hope that they figure it out, because it looks like it's going to be Flacco's team for the rest of the year. Aaron Rodgers. If you would have told me that I would be putting Aaron Rodgers in a category labeled bad for quarterbacks ever, I would say, you foolish son of a fool. Ridiculous. But he belongs in the bad category for this year. I don't even think he would be good in Kansas City or in a good system. This is a guy who has Davante Adams, Garrett Wilson. He's backed up by Breece Hall and Braylon Allen. He has an offensive coordinator in a guy that Nathaniel Hackett that he had in Green Bay with success. Like, I'm looking around like, what more do you want, Aaron? A cup of ayahuasca? Because there's nothing else that can change the course of this season for you. So I am just flabbergasted at the fact that we have a Hall of Fame quarterback playing as bad as he is. Baker Mayfield, though, is playing great, and I'm going to put him in the great category. I don't think he's very great right now, and I think he's kind of suffered some bad luck with Chris Godwin and Mike Evans going down. But looking at the numbers, looking on what he's doing for his team, keeping them in games, I think Baker is playing great, and he has certainly revitalized his career after the almost complete failure that it was with the Cleveland Browns. Bo Nix, though, might join Baker. And again, we have to kind of think about this in terms of expectations. I'm going to rank these guys based on also, yes, how they're playing in a vacuum, but also what we can expect or what we could predict for them, ceilings, floors, that kind of thing. Bo Nix joins a team in the Denver Broncos that could do nothing with Russell Wilson, a potential probably Hall of Fame quarterback in Russell Wilson. And they get rid of him, trade him, and Bo Nix comes in, and he doesn't have a lot of pieces. I mean, the weapons around him are less than ideal, I would say. And he has turned lemons into, a very sweet Minute Maid lemonade. So good for Bo Nix. I'm interested to see how he continues his career, but so far we're going to slot him in the great category for the halfway point of 2024. Brock Purdy is doing his job. Nothing more to it, nothing less to it. I think he's maybe underperforming. Last year, there were talks of MVP. He was in MVP conversations, and he is no longer in those conversations, but he is doing his job, so we'll slot him there. Bryce Young. Here's the deal, guys. Don't shoot the messenger, and I'm the messenger, okay? I believe in Bryce Young, and I may be a fool, and I am a fool because I recorded this video with my mic unplugged. We've already established I'm a fool. I believe in Bryce Young. I believe in his potential. I believe in his future. I think that Dave Canales will help him grow and mature, and I really do think if he had joined a team that had stars and potential around him from the start, he would be a top 15 NFL quarterback, at least one that's respected, because I don't even think Bryce Young is respected. I believe that this player, Bryce Young, has the potential to change his career and kind of turn it around, right? We see guys like Sam Darnold who start with the Jets, completely fall apart, no hope, and he's kind of revitalized his career. I hope that Bryce Young, whether it's with the Panthers or another team, is able to do the same thing. And I think if he had weapons and a system around him, he would be good. Enough about Bryce Young. Let's talk about a rookie, Caleb Williams. And I'm going to slot him in bad. And this is my justification for it. Look at his team, okay? He has DeAndre Swift and Rashawn Johnson behind him that can take some of the pressure off. He's got Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, guys who are ultra talented. Cole Kmet at the time. Like, where's the excuse? There is no excuse except for inexperience. And we see other rookies at the quarterback position, Bo Nix, and soon we'll talk about Jaden Daniels, who are doing what I believe is more with less. So I don't even know if Caleb Williams would be good in Kansas City because I don't think the Bears are that bad of an offense or a franchise right now. I think he is doing nothing with the lemons. If Bo Nix is making lemonade, by golly, I don't know what Caleb Williams is doing. Maybe just leaving him on the counter to turn brown. I don't know the metaphor, but the lemons aren't good. CJ Stroud is very great. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to get close, and I'm going to get personal. And I'm going to say this with my whole being so that you can understand me and hear me, and I hope my mic stays plugged in so we don't have a fiasco. I believe CJ Stroud, pound for pound, is and will be the best quarterback currently playing for the trajectory of his career in the NFL as an organization. Okay? I think when all's said and done, look at everybody on this list. I think CJ Stroud will go down as top 2 on this list all time. Okay, now I'm going to back up and tell you why. There are very few quarterbacks, and I mean 0 other quarterbacks who I watch make throws like CJ Stroud makes. And I'm not talking about the Chris Collinsworth absolute glazing of Patrick Mahomes 4-yard, scramble, no look, drop it over the shoulder, wow, gain of 7 yards. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about actual pocket presence, stand and deliver 17 to 30 yards down the field in a window the size of a lemon, all right? That's what I'm talking about with CJ Stroud. Throws that I do not see any other quarterback make in this league. I'm talking raw, pure, unadulterated arm talent is CJ Stroud. Now, why aren't you putting him in Sell My Soul? Maybe I should. But part of my analysis of CJ Stroud is based on the future. I think he has a tremendous and trajectory, extremely high ceiling. So right now, he's playing very great. He's not at that quite level yet because I do think he has a lot of weapons and he is set up well. So we'll keep all that in consideration. Dak Prescott, welcome to the IR and potentially to the end of the season. Dak may not play another down, and that may actually be a blessing in disguise. A guy who may have costed himself his reputation in his career with the play this season. Not quite, but it's been bad. It's been awful. So this injury may be, again, a blessing to him. Daniel Jones. is close to would be good in Kansas City. Again, a guy that I have hope for, a guy that I think could salvage his career. Maybe a few more years of growth, but he's had some years of growth. Weapons. Hopefully Malik Neighbors can stay healthy and be a guy that Daniel Jones can rely on. I feel bad for him. Daniel Jones is the butt of many a joke. He is a walking meme. And he's bad. He's bad. Derek Carr. I'm saying doing his job. Wins 2 games, gets hurt, misses some games where the Saints lose, comes back, does lose to the Panthers in his first game back, which is very embarrassing, but leads his team to a victory this weekend against the Falcons. So small sample size, but in the games he's played, I think Derek Carr is doing his job, minus one pretty awful game against the Panthers. Deshaun Watson, need I say more? Fallen soldier. Yikes. Drake May. I'm going to put in doing his job as well. The expectations for Drake May, pretty low. Rookie, backs up Jacoby Brissett to start the year, ends up working himself up into now a starting role, goes to Chicago, wins a game this weekend, looks good doing it. And I mean, is there a guy who has less around him? Go ahead, type in the comments some Patriots receivers. Right? Like if you don't play fantasy football or you're not betting on sports every weekend, you probably don't know, or you live in Massachusetts, you probably don't know Patriots receivers, right? So Drake May is doing a lot with a little. So I'm going to put him in doing his job, and I think he has a bright future. Geno Smith, it's tough. I'm going to put him in doing his job, but understand me when I say he could easily be slotted down. He is crushing a lot of the metrics, a lot of the stats in terms of pass yards, touchdowns, all that stuff, but they're not winning games. Seattle's not winning games. A lot of it's with the defense. So we'll give Geno the benefit of the doubt here that he's doing his job, but understand I am willing to maybe have a conversation. Jalen Hurts, very great. Hard to deny what Jalen Hurts has done this year. He actually has the second most rushing touchdowns in the NFL to Derrick Henry. So only one guy, a running back, is above him. And then there are no more running backs above him. He is above all the running backs. Obviously he's in a great system. They do the tush push like it's a household name now. But I have nothing bad to say about him. And if you want to win a game, I think Jalen Hurts is a good guy to put under center to get it done. Jared Goff. He is 5 interceptions last night away from being in Sell My Soul. If he did not have such an absolute meltdown against the Houston Texans, where he was just forcing too much, getting a little willy-nilly, a little loose, he could be up there this season with Sell My Soul. But we'll put him in very great because after all said and done, 5 picks and he gets a win? Unheard of. Really, truly unheard of. I don't know the last time that's happened. I would be interested to find out. Jared Goff, great season. But again, a lot of weapons around him. Jaden Daniels, here it is. Our first candidate for the Sell My Soul category. And I'll tell you why. I think Jaden Daniels is ultra impressive, not only because he's in conversations and will probably win Rookie of the Year, but people are talking about MVP. When have we seen a rookie be in conversations for most valuable player? Look at his team. It's not great. Terry McLaurin, solid wide receiver. Noah Brown, who's next, right? Like Zach Ertz, he's got 2 feet in the grave and 1 on a banana peel, all right? Zach Ertz is 45 years old, but he's made of glass right now. Brian Thomas or Brian Robinson, great running back. Austin Eckler, awesome, also old. Like Jaden Daniels is doing the most right now, and I don't mean that in a bad way, like the way the kids say you're doing the most. He's doing the most in the good way. So Jaden Daniels, Sell My Soul. If I'm building an NFL franchise from the ground up and I get first pick at any quarterback, he's in the top 3 right now. JJ McCarthy, haven't heard that name since preseason. Rest up, buddy, get well. But I think they made the right choice shutting you down and giving the job to Sam Darnold. Joe Burrow. I'm going to put him in doing his job. I understand that he, is playing fine and their win-loss record doesn't necessarily show that. I think he could be better. I think Joe Burrow could be performing better since he is the face of this franchise. He's the focal point. Like they're building around Joe Burrow. And I just think that he's got a lot of pressure on him, and I'll understand that, but he also has a lot of talent that I don't know is coming through this year. So we'll put him in doing his job, but he's not been great. Jordan Love, I think, has been great. I think I've been impressed with Jordan Love, especially for the wide receiver core that he has around him, young guys. He's coming along with them. He's been asked to do a lot, even though they go out and get Josh Jacobs. So I'm impressed with Jordan Love, and I think he will be a great addition to the Packers, to the NFL, and he will be one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the next few years. He signed a massive contract. Don't know the details, but it's huge. Josh Allen will be joining Jaden Daniels and sell my soul. I just don't know if there's a lot of quarterbacks who can do what Josh Allen does. On the ground, in the pocket, big arm, accurate. Again, I just whacked my mic. I need to make sure it's plugged in. Don't want to make a big mistake again. Josh Allen, I don't need to say much. We know that the threat that Josh Allen is. We'll put him in sell my soul, and I don't think anyone's going to argue. Justin Herbert is doing his job. He isn't asked to do a lot. This is a team that runs the ball 46 times a game, and when he has to make the throws, he has been making them. If he can stay healthy, I think Justin Herbert's having a good year. Kirk Cousins, I'm going to slide to great, and here's why. Comes off an Achilles tear, injury, could be a career-ending situation. His weapons are fine. New system. He's old, and he is putting the numbers up. He's putting his team in positions to win. He is exceeding expectations, or at least the expectations that I had for him at the beginning of the year, so he will go in the great category. Kyler Murray will join him, and here's why. Who talks about the Arizona Cardinals? Who are you talking about them at work on Mondays? No. Nobody's talking about the Arizona Cardinals, and they're darn good. They're darn decent. The Arizona Cardinals are darn decent, and Kyler Murray is playing some good football. Yeah, I think at halftime yesterday he had 20. He was 20 of 22, 6 rushing touchdowns. The dude is playing some good ball, and he is a game or two away from moving to very great. I'm just saying, keep your eye on Kyler Murray. Lamar Jackson goes in very great. He's meeting expectations, but he is doing so at such a high level. Of course, Derrick Henry in the backfield helps. Of course, elite tight ends, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely. I wouldn't call him elite, but those weapons help. They pick up Deontay Johnson. He's got support. He knows the system, but he's not letting me down in ways that, looks a little Joe Burrow and Aaron Rodgers are. So we'll put him in very great. Matthew Stafford is doing his job. Again, a guy who's battled injuries to his wide receiver core with Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, and a team that really does like to run the ball a lot with Kyron Williams. So also at an age where, any day now, he could fade. So that sleep number bed is treating him right. We'll put him there. Here we go. Sit up, straighten up. Let's talk. I'm going to perform what I call a bit of irony, a bit of a paradox here. And I'm going to explain why. I'm going to put Patrick Mahomes in the would-be good in Kansas City category. And here's why. We have come to expect things of Patrick Mahomes. We have come to expect a top 3 quarterback without conversation, maybe even top 2, if not 1. We have come to expect stat after stat after stat, piled high, ready to be shown to the world. He's winning games. They're undefeated. There's no denying that. How you want to talk about those occurrences occurring, refs, defense, we can have that conversation. The bottom line is this. Patrick Mahomes has a job, and maybe it's unfair for us to expect him to perform at an elite level without failure. But I think he is really falling off, or has fallen off this season. So I don't think he's doing his job in the way that we've seen him do his job for the last 5 years, but he's not bad. He's nowhere near bad, but he's just kind of in this would be good in Kansas City category where it's maybe if the system, if this wasn't Patrick Mahomes, if you did a blind resume of his stats this year compared to any of these guys above him, you would be hard pressed to argue with me, I think. All right. I know stats don't tell the whole story, but this is a guy that, if they weren't 9-0, we wouldn't even be you wouldn't be arguing. I don't know. It's weird. Okay. It's a paradox. I get it. It's a little bit of a catch-22. It doesn't feel right, but it's my video, and I'm going to put Patrick Mahomes would be better if he was in Kansas City, but by golly, he is in Kansas City. And what's going on? They're undefeated, but he's not playing well. Russell Wilson's playing well, darn well. We're going to put him in great. 2 games, 3 games, small sample size. But Mike Tomlin knew what he was doing. And we'll jump the gun here. We'll go down to Justin Fields. I'll put doing his job. 2 quarterbacks who have performed well and gotten the Steelers in the playoff hunt. And Justin Fields, I actually was outspoken about it. I said, don't bench him. You don't bench a guy who's won you 5 games. They bench a guy who won 5 games, and they start Russell Wilson, who's been lights out. So I was wrong. I'll admit that I was wrong. We'll move forward. Trevor Lawrence, flat out bad. Tua Tagovailoa. Here's the deal. Tua Tagovailoa, I don't know what to do with him, and I'm going to put him in bad. And he may prove me wrong in 10 minutes when he goes live in Los Angeles. I don't think Tua is that good. I think Tyreek Hill makes quarterbacks look better than they are. I can make that argument at Patrick Mahomes, and I have made that argument about Patrick Mahomes, and people disagree with me. I think Tua, and I get it, he's been injured. He's had a rough road. I'm going to put him in bad because, it's hard to say he would be good in Kansas City. In other words, he would be good with a good system because I think his system is good, but he's not doing it. And again, that's unfair because he's been hurt. I get it. Will Levis, not a big Will Levis guy. In fact, I think Mason Rudolph is the better fit. And for that reason, I'm putting Mason Rudolph in doing his job. I think Mason Rudolph is a better quarterback than Will Levis. And it kind of is that Joe Flacco, Anthony Richardson. Do we start the guy who can win us games or do we look for the future? The Titans have opted to look for the future. The Colts have opted to look for now, and now ain't looking good because Flacco looked awful yesterday against the Bills. And I have to slot him in bad. For the last 2 games that I've watched him play, it's been bad. He looked good until they named him the starter. Like, he looked good when he was playing for something, and then they said, well, it's your job now. And then he's like, oh, well, job security, I guess I'll just throw 6 picks and overthrow Alec Pierce 8 times. Like, I don't know what the Colts should do. My opinion of it changes every week. Jacoby Brissett, you've lost your job to Drake May, as you should have. Best of luck to you. Jameis Winston, I'll put doing his job. Simply because one of his games was out of this world, like very great out of this world, and then the other one he regressed. And what can you do? When you're on the Browns, you lose Amari Cooper to the Bills. I get it. We don't need to talk about it. Gardner Minshew, shame on you, Gardner Minshew. But I do like the stash. I might shave this. I don't know. And finally, we have Samuel Darnold, who has been great. He's got weapons. Tremendous weapons, but a guy who had J.J. McCarthy breathing down his neck preseason and gets injured, job becomes his, and he has not disappointed, unless you're talking about yesterday's game in Jacksonville where he kind of did disappoint, but they still got the win. So here's the list. Bold and beautiful, baby. That is a good list. By golly, that is a tremendous list, and I don't know if you can disagree with me on any of these. You might be able to, but you can't. You're going to be mad about this. That's fine. Come back tomorrow. We'll rank every team after week 10, week 11 for our NFL Power Rankings. If you're here on this video because of that video, oh my gosh, that's awesome. That means we're doing the job and YouTube is sending you the right places. We love it. We love to see it. And I'm going to stop this and be thankful that it actually recorded this time. And we will see you next time we make a video, baby. I love you.